welcome back. Yes, we can get excited. The Junior Springboks got their under-20 Rugby Championship campaign off to a flyer, the strongest start possible, with a gritty resilience, displaying 36-25 comeback win over Argentina in Gqeberha. Despite trailing at halftime, dominant second half showing, secured that win, but also showed the mettle there, setting up a mouth-watering next clash with Australia. Dun, dun, dun. That's next Tuesday. Joining us in studio is the man who is all about discovering this kind of talent on the rugby field, well, any kind of sporting field. A talent himself, Robbie Gillette.
A talent myself, very kind.
You're in the coolest space in sport, Boo, because you're that guy that the other guys look to discover the next guy. And that's a special place to be.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for putting yourself there. So you must get very excited about the under-20 championship.
I was genuinely really excited driving here this morning, getting an opportunity to chat about these guys.
No, you were really tired driving here this morning. Just let's be honest here, man. Let's be honest.
Two things can be true.
And to get a win like this, where you get the best of both worlds, you get the victory, but you also get a test. Because you kind of need to know where the team's mental strength is. And this was both of those things.
It absolutely showed that. It was such an impressive performance by these Junior Springboks. And the first half was tough. You know, we started well, and then they fired back. And then all of a sudden, I'm thinking, well, after that fast start, the Pumitas going to do something to us here that you know, we don't really want. And then, yeah, look, they had the wind in the first half, so it would obviously help them. I thought we managed it pretty nicely. It probably would have been a little bit more of a points in that wind, but yeah, it was a good result.
Because we've kind of seen the Springbok DNA shift in that way to, if we can just weather the All Black storm, if we can weather that intensity and keep the margins small, we know that we've got the distance, we've got the physicality, the fitness. That very much plays into the broader Springbok idea. But when it comes to the under-20s, these guys haven't had, albeit a couple of them have played sevens at the highest level, and they've tasted the big boy game of rugby, but you don't really know what these guys are going to do until the team comes together. When we look at that second half performance, Hashim Pete, I've never heard the name before. Please fill us in.
Remember the name. I think we say this every year with the Junior Boks Springbok. You look at last year, Assad Moose. He was so good. These guys, I don't know, I almost feel sorry for our rugby players because we don't have enough teams to host the talent we have. Genuinely,
tough life, Bruce.
It was a shower thought for me this morning. I was thinking about it in the shower because I was obviously.
So you were thinking of Hashim in the shower this morning. So you know, Hashim, you were well represented.
I was thinking about his talent, yes. But yeah, look, we speak about the Springbok DNA and like a bomb squad. That second half, those guys came on. A guy that really impressed me coming off the bench was Vusi Moyo, a Kes boy from last year. I actually know, and he was, he threw that nice pass to Gino Cupido when Gino scored. And yeah, I thought some real character shown. I thought Riley Norton led really well for a young guy. He's only, 5 months out of school to lead guys who are older than him as well. I thought he led incredibly well, and yeah, it was a good result, and yeah, I'm excited for this Australia game because Australia are good. I watched their game against New Zealand.
I was going to ask because it feels like they've been going through a rebuild, but they, I think, very much like us, understand the long game and building those structures, and they will look after players. So if they spot your trajectory, they will even take a South African player, look after them for a year, i.e. like a Clyde Rathbone, and make sure that they look after their assets and their resources. And I would assume they see that. What can we expect from them at the under-20 level?
You know, they don't go away. It's like, it sounds like it was the cliche. The cliche is always true. Like, they genuinely don't go away. Yesterday, they scored in the last minute against New Zealand, their under-20s, and it was last minute in a windy stadium in Nelson Mandela Bay, and he kicked it to draw the game 29-all. They sort of keep in the fight, and what impressed me about this Australian side is actually their set piece. Their set piece dominance against the New Zealand under-20s, which was something you don't really see from an Australian side having set piece dominance. So.
Yeah, they're looking at our hymn sheet, dude. And I think they're starting to understand. That being said, you can't. I love the fact that Argentina, even the Pumitas now, you cannot take for granted what they're going to do. Yeah, and as you'd expect, because they see represent that kind of rugby. They also play a kind of disrupting kind of rugby that will test the best side. So that says to me, when you can pull off a win like this, structures are in the right place. But a structure has to be different for the under-20s because you want these youngsters to still play like schoolboys.
Yeah.
Isn't that the advantage at under-20? How
sure.
do you get that balance, that inside, outside the box kind of sevens mentality in the 15-man game when it comes to these young guys?
I think we struggled to find that balance in the first half, which was our problem. And in the second half, we found that beautiful mix of physicality and flair. We look at guys dominating collisions, our big forwards sort of getting over the advantage line, and then our backs, a guy called Cheswell Yost, I've never ever seen him play before. Yesterday I watched him for the first time. Remember the name. That guy is going to be special.
You're going to have to give us a list of, can you please on your social, can you pin something, one of your posts to the top with the names that we have to remember?
I'm going to have to.
Because I have a feeling every one of these under-20s is a name that you have to remember. Some of them we do know well, but these guys are boys playing against men at this level, and they look like men playing against boys. It is incredible. Buddy, thank you so much for being that lens to shine on these players at such a critical phase of their development, because it's not just about these players, it's about South African rugby, and clearly the right kind of seeds are being sown. Well done, man.